Black math! Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Black math!
So a searchlight rotates 60 degrees through a circle. Okay, so number one, here's 60 degrees through a circle. That has a radius of 120 feet. What is the area of the searchlight covers? Okay, so how do you find the area of just that?
Wait.
Yeah.
That's like 60. That angle's, I'm so wrong.
That's 60
degrees. 360 degree angle to begin with, right? It's a circle. And 60 degrees of 360 is like 1/5. I don't know, 6, 12, 18, 24.
1/6. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1/5.
1/6. Yeah.
Yeah, 1/6. It's 1/6 of the thing.
Of the thing. What thing?
Of the circle.
Okay, so how do you find the area of the circle?
It's like pi times
IR squared.
Yeah. Okay, so what's R? 120? So we got pi times 120 squared. Ooh.
This is Flack.
Yeah.
I did the pretest.
Oh yeah. If you have not already uploaded your pretest and you've done it, please let me know so I can give you 5 points.
I liked it last time when no one else did it.
Yeah.
That was cool, you know.
That was because you got 10 points.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, but it's like,
Oh, and you said in like the problems at coupons, you'll write down if you put like an A on a testing, right?
Yeah. If I haven't already done that, then if you don't see your last A test in there, then you can just say, hey, I want to use a free problem set, and then it'll work out.
Okay.
So let's see here. Who has their pretest with them who hasn't already uploaded it?
Did
I
I
have
Maddie
it. I just
has
didn't
it?
order. I just didn't.
Upload it yet. That's fine. You don't have to. You can just bring it today. Who else has it?
Did I upload mine?
Yes. Anybody else have it who hasn't already uploaded it? Okay. So here we go. What's 120 squared? Well, that's like 14,400, right? So 1/6 pi times 14,400. Okay, so you could reduce that a little bit. So that goes in 2,400 times, so 2,400 pi. Round to the nearest square foot. So we do have to multiply by 3.14-ish. Anyone want to do that?
Why can't we just leave things in terms of pi? It's there for a reason.
Anybody got that? Let's see, 24 times 3.14 is like 78.5, so 78,500.
And 36.
I still struggle with like why pi exists. I don't get the like.
So 7850 maybe? Is that right?
It's 7,536.
7,536?
Yes.
Okay. Then that is, don't forget the cute little approximation symbol instead of equals. That looks weird, but it's just two squigglies. Any questions with number one? So obviously if it was like a 70-degree angle, it'd be 70 over 360. I mean, you don't have to reduce this at all. You don't have to do that. You could just multiply all this out. And since you're getting a decimal anyway, then you can just do that.
You are recording, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you. All right, number two. Triangle is an equiangular, and so if a triangle is equiangular, it's also equilateral, right? And has a perimeter of blah, blah, blah. Determine the length of each side. So the perimeter is 3 times the length of a side. If it's equilateral, they're all the same, right? So this is the perimeter of a equilateral triangle. So now we just solve for S. So P is 46.8. 46.8 equals 3S. So divide by 3, divide by 3. S equals 15.6. What is it? Inches? No, centimeters. You guys good with that? Okay, number 3.
Is that 46.8 or 41?
46.8.
That's what
Okay. Number 3, figures A, B, C, D, and W are similar polygons. We don't know what they look like. We don't care. The corresponding sides have a ratio of 4 to 5. If the perimeter of figure ABCD is 38, what is the perimeter of the largest? So here's the deal. The perimeter is the same ratio as the sides. Okay, so you can just use that ratio. So 4 to 5 is the ratio. And 38 is, which one's the smaller one? Oh, respectively. So ABCD is the smaller one because it's 4. So let's see, that's 38.
It's snowing.
Okay, so what's the perimeter? Well, you kind of have to use the fish method here because 4 doesn't go nicely into 38. Anyone have that? So that, what is that? 190 divided by 4 is 47.5. Okay. What is that? Inches? Any questions with that? So you can just set up that proportion pretty easily. If you want to draw it out however you want, you can do that. Maybe give yourself a visual. Number 4, in the diagram below, ST is a midsegment. Find the values of A and B. Okay, so midsegment opens up a whole world of stuff here. So let's see, if midsegment is halfway between, right? So if that's 5, that's B. This whole thing is going to be 7 from here to here. And this is going to be 3 and A. Well, what's A, first of all?
3.
So A is going to be 3 because these have to be the same, right? So A equals 3. So what's B equal?
10. No, that's incorrect.
Why is it incorrect?
Doesn't look like 10.
B is double the ratio.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so B would be exactly twice. If you don't believe me, you can set it up where you can use similar triangles, this one and this whole one. Well, if this is 3 and this is 6, then this smaller one is exactly half the size of the bigger one. So that means that bottom side has got to be half the size of B. So that's 10. You, again, use your gut. That's what you did, and it worked for you. Okay? Number 5. Find this measure. Okay? All right, so this is basically an inscribed angle, but it's a tangent line. So how do you find the measure of an inscribed angle? How do you find the measure of an inscribed angle? If you're
It's
given
like
the arc
90.
that it intersects? Yeah, I know, it's like that. How do you find the measure of that angle? I'm gonna do this until you answer.
Oh, wait, measure that angle? Is it 90 degrees?
No, but it looks like it. You use your gut, but if someone drew it poorly, then don't use your gut.
75.
60. I'm feeling it 60.
No,
Is it
come on,
82?
come on, come on.
85.
What if it was like this? What if it was like
Don't you
that?
find like the arc length or something?
What's the length? What's the measure of that angle?
60.
60.
60. So what do you do? Same thing here. Even though one of them's a
115.
tangent, so this would be 115 degrees. Okay. So it's 230 divided by 2. That's it. Okay. That looks more like 115, not that. All right, so it works just like an inscribed angle. This is an inscribed angle. It's always half the arc that it intersects. It works the same way with the tangent. If one of those sides of the angle is a tangent line, it works the same way. Okay, you guys good? Okay. Number 6.
I'm sorry. Don't say it like that.
Number 6.
Yes, I didn't realize it was snowing when I left.
I hate the snow. Why is it snowing? This is so horrible. It was 60 degrees yesterday, and I was so happy. I had my sunroof open, but this is not it.
I didn't need heat in my car.
All right, number 6.
Oh, I didn't drive my car today, so I
Find a
checked.
measure. Oh, the measure, it does equal 45 degrees.
That's fine.
We also know, so what measure DHE? So DHE is this. This guy is 45 degrees, right? DHE. So we want to know, prove that DG is tangent to circle F. So we want to prove that this is tangent. Yes.
What's the top letter?
D.
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 Okay.
No, not that one. The other one.
H.
H.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's E. Sorry.
Oh.
I did that wrong. Okay, so we're going to prove it. So here's what's given. That DHE, measure of DHE, equals 45 degrees. Why? Because it's given.
Oh. Okay. Well.
Okay, and then what else is given? Well, it gives us some stuff here.
We have a 90-degree angle in there. HFE is 90.
Isn't that supposed to be 7, not 1?
What's 7? Not 1.
No, that.
No, this is the proof.
No, the number.
I'm writing the
Oh,
proof
this is
now.
a proof?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
don't
writing
do
the proofs.
How much information do we have? Can we say that the triangle's 45, 45, 90?
It's interesting that they decided to do that. Well, we know that no, but we do know that 2 is, so we can say HF. HF is congruent to EF. Why? Because all radiuses are the same. So that's basically definition of circle. So whenever you say the radiuses are the same or radii are the same, that's the definition of a circle. So therefore, we can say that basically angle FHE equals 45 degrees, and also a measure of angle FEH is 45 degrees. Why? Because it's an isosceles triangle. So property, you can just say prop of iso triangle. All right, so now that's 45 degrees, we can say that the measure of angle FHE plus the measure of angle DHE equals the measure of angle FHD, right? Because of angle addition. So you can say angle add. And this also equals 90 degrees, right? Because it's 45 plus 45 is 90 degrees. All we did was add those angles together. So what happens when a line is perpendicular to a radius? What does that make that line? A tangent. So therefore, line GD is tangent. Okay, why? Because tangents are perpendicular to the radius. Okay, again, most of this will be extra credit, so do as much as you can, and let's see if we get it right. Okay. So that's number 6. Number 7. In quad ABCD shown below, AB is parallel, angle D is equal to angle, congruent to angle B. Is ABCD a parallelogram? Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, why?
Because like cross lines, what are they called?
Diagonal.
Diagonals.
Okay, yes, because opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so if opposite angles are congruent in a trapezoid, basically you have one set of parallel lines and opposite angles are congruent, then yes, it is a parallelogram.
Do we have to say why?
No,
In the
you don't.
question, it just,
You don't have to say why. You just have to tell me if it's a
well, we get
parallelogram.
bonus points if we say why.
Yep.
Type.
Okay, number 8, find the volume of a right prism if the base is 3 feet by 7 feet rectangle. Okay, a 3 by 7 foot base, and the height is 4 feet. So how do you find the volume? Area of base times height, right?
Yeah.
So 7 times 3
21
times 4.
That's what, 44. Not 44, 80.
Right, so 84 square feet. Everybody good with that? Okay, how do you find the area of?
Wait, was that 8 or 9?
That was 8.
That was 8, sorry. Number 9, how do you find the area of a parallelogram? Just base times height.
Yeah.
So 9 times 6.
54.
Please, yeah, that's just too easy.
That's
All right.
fine.
Feel good with that? Area of parallelogram is base times height. All right. Now, what does your gut tell you? Is the parallelogram below a rhombus if x equals 7? Well, it doesn't look like even a parallelogram, does it? But it is. It's just, I don't know if the paper got warped or whatever, but
Isn't it?
you know it is because both opposite sides are parallel. It says that they're parallel. Okay, so if it's a rhombus, then that means the consecutive sides have to be the same, right? So does 5x minus 8 equal 28? Well, plug in 7 for x, and you get 35 minus 8.
27.
It's not 28. So no, because why? Now this time when it does say explain, you have to say.
Because if x equals 7, then 5x minus 8 does not equal 28.
Right.
Oh.
Well, you could say it's a rhombus. I mean, you could do that too. But all sides are not congruent, so it can't be a rhombus. Remember, a rhombus is all sides are congruent. Okay, good? All right, number 11. A flag is in the shape of an equilateral triangle, and each side measures 14 inches. What is the area of the flag? Okay, so this is back to this guy. So it's 14 inches. How do you find the area of an equilateral triangle if you're just given the side? Do you remember?
Area? Oh, base on side.
Wait,
Divided by 2, but we don't know the height, so how do you
Can't
figure
you
out the
just do
height?
a squared plus b?
No, because it's not a, well, I mean, you could if you break it up into two triangles. Yep.
We could do that.
So what's this side here?
7.
Yep.
So it's like 7 square, which is what, 49, plus 14 square, which is
But the shortcut to a 30-60 triangle is, this is 7 radical 3. Now you can use the Pythagorean theorem if you want, but remember in a 30-60 triangle, the shortcut of the longer leg is just the short leg times radical 3. And the hypotenuse is just twice the short leg, okay? So base times height divided by 2. The base is 14. The height is 7 radical 3, all divided by 2. So you get area equals basically 49 radical 3. What does it say to give the answer in?
radical form.
Simplified radical form. So it's in simplified radical form because you can't take the square root of 3 anymore, right? So you guys good? All right. Moving on. Number 12. Find the line perpendicular to Blebla and passes through Blebla. Okay, everybody write this down. You can use this on the test. This is the point slope formula.
Oh, isn't it like x squared plus x squared divided by y squared?
Nope. This is what you use when you're given a point and a slope. This is what you use when given a point and slope. Now, technically, you're not given the slope right out off the bat. But how do you figure out a slope that's perpendicular to a slope? You guys remember?
You like what? You reverse it and negate it?
Yeah.
So
Flip it and negate it. Flip and negate it. So if m equals -1/4, perpendicular to m equals 4 over 1, positive. Okay, everybody look up here and nod if you get this. This is perpendicular. Define a perpendicular slope. You flip it over and you change the sign. That's it. So 2 types of opposite. You flip it over, so that's opposite multiplicatively, and you change the sign, which is opposite additively. Okay? Okay, so now you know the slope, and you're given a point. So here's the point slope formula. Y minus y value equals m, which is the slope, times x minus x value. So you can use this formula on when you take your test. So what's our y value?
1/4, -1.
No, what's our y value? Of the point they gave us. No, what's the point they gave us?
What's the point they gave us? Is it 3-2?
3, comma 2. So what's the y value? 2. Y minus 2 equals our slope, which is now 4, right? And what's our x value? 3. So that's it. that is, find the line. We just found it. That's the line. Now it's, for my sake, you can leave it like this because this is technically the equation of the new line.
So we don't have to graph it?
Does it say graph it?
No.
No, you don't have to graph it, but I always like that my line is in slope-intercept form or standard form. So I'm just going to do that because I can. So y minus 2 equals 4x minus 12. Put the 2 over here. So y equals 4x minus 10. So that's the nicely written equation of the line.
Is it?
No, it's not. Because it just says find the line. And the line is y minus 2 equals 4 parentheses x minus 3. That's it. Doesn't say to do it in the right format, but you can if you want. Okay, so remember that equation, the only thing you care about that first equation is the slope. The slope is just negative 1/4, but it's perpendicular to that. What if it was parallel to that? What would the slope be? What would the slope be parallel to that line? The same.
Yeah.
So negative 1/4. Okay. So it's in the same direction. It still goes down 1/4, down 1/4, down 1/4. Okay. So parallel slopes are the same. Perpendicular slopes are negative reciprocals. Basically opposite sign and then flip it over. Okay. The test this week is probably perpendicular. So make sure you flip it over. You don't care about anything else in that equation. If it was like negative 1/4 x plus 5, the 5 doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. So just ignore the 5. The only thing you're looking at is what's being multiplied by x, which is the slope. Okay. So flip it over, negate it, pop it into the point slope formula. So remember your point is 3, 2. So this is your y value, and this is your x value. Okay? All right, moving on to number 13. Okay, lateral surface area. Oh, it's just lateral surface area. So it's just the circumference times the height. That's it. Because if you unwrap that label, it's just a rectangle, right? So the lateral surface area is just circumference times height, or pi dh, right? Because the circumference is pi times diameter. Remember that? So what's the diameter? And what's the height? 5. So it's just 20 pi. Exactly. So leave it in terms of pi, you're done. Does that feel all right?
Yes.
So if you have this formula written down, then you don't have to worry about anything. Lateral area equals pi dh. Circumference times height. All right, number 14. These are similar triangles. Find the unknown side lengths. You can set up a little proportion. This is nice because they're all oriented the same way. So the proportions are right there if you want them. But you can make a little chart if you want. I'm going to make a little chart. Okay, I'm going to go 2, 4, 5. So left, right, down.
Okay.
And then A, is that A? A, 12B.
JLK is 1/3 of the size of WXY.
Okay, and you can also do it that way. Yep, it's 1/3. So look, now that I have it written out like this, times 3, times 3, times 3. So A equals 6, and B equals 15, and you're done. You guys handle that one?
No.
Again, use your gut. It's obviously like the only ones that have this same side or have the sides included are 4 and 12. Well, so 4 times 3 is 12, so everything times 3. Did it stop snowing? All right.
Please,
I
it should
hope
stop
so.
snowing. It should never snow
I
again.
did not wear long pants today. So,
It was
When
sunny
did you?
this morning. It was sunny.
I hate long pants.
This is a
It's
scam.
horrible.
This is God is scamming us.
Hey,
All right.
no, like, this
How many
just
faces
doesn't
does a
feel right.
polyhedron with 20 vertices and 30 edges have? What's the formula again?
No.
What's the formula?
Wait, say it again.
It's V.
Euler, wait, this is the Euler's.
It's like the VF
Yes.
Yeah,
minus 2.
V minus F plus V equals 2.
Yeah.
Is it V minus F
I can go check it right now. but it's
plus
gonna take a while.
E? Look it up. Somebody look it up on the
Back.
phone. EULER apostrophe S Euler's formula.
Oh, Euler's.
Don't you dare.
Euler's formula.
Euler's. Come on. What is it?
One sec.
I don't think this is right.
Oh, it's
guys.
B minus F.
Oh, it could be right, I guess.
It's EI pi plus 1 equals 0. What?
No.
That's not
So
right.
E is Euler's constant.
Oh,
Euler's
equals
It's
constant.
V plus F minus E.
V plus F minus E.
Google's like being whack with this.
I was so close.
Okay. So what do you add to 20 to get basically 32? You get 12. So it's got 12 faces. So make sure you check your work, plug it in, and make sure it works, okay? Any questions on Euler's? Just write this down, guys, so you don't have to remember it. Because obviously you'll forget, like I did.
I pretty much remembered it.
Okay, is DE parallel to BC? Well, it sure looks like it.
Oh,
Is it a mid?
it's like, yeah.
Doesn't say it's a mid segment, no.
So do we have to prove it to make segments? A mid segment.
No, no.
If you can prove it, well, it's not a mid, it doesn't have to be a mid segment.
No, I know.
But what else can you say
You
to
could
prove
look
that
at
it's
the
parallel?
angles. You could look and see if like,
Yeah, the angles aren't going to help.
gross.
All it gives us is side lengths. So what can you tell me? How do you prove that
it's
they're
not.
parallel?
It's not because 3 and 4 aren't parallel. Like they don't match.
Well, it's not a mid segment,
Oh, gross.
but it's not asking if it's a mid segment. It's asking if it's parallel. There's a property. Use your gut. What do you think? How do you prove that it's parallel? It's parallel if those sides, the remaining segments, are proportional. Okay, so are they proportional? Doesn't look like it. So we can just set up a proportion. 7/9 equals 3/4. 27 equal 28? No, so they're not parallel. Okay, so this is like one of the easiest questions because all you have to do is set up a proportion and it's already written for you. Now that proportion can be rotated 90 degrees. You can go 3/7 equals 4/9. Doesn't matter. You're still going to get the same cross products that aren't equal. So not parallel. Okay, and any questions with 16? All right, number 17, find the perimeter. So if I were to graph these, some of you still don't know how to graph points on a line. You can watch some of my pre-algebra videos if you need help with
I
that,
don't know how to.
but figure that crap out, okay?
I
Here's 1, 3.
I like algebra 0%.
Here's 2, 1,
Don't let anyone. tell you
-2, -1,
Can I go back to elementary school?
Bro, I thrived on that.
-3, -1, or -3, +1.
Now people are like, oh, show your
So
work.
look at that
I don't
cute
know,
little.
But I do it in my head. They're like, show it.
I show
How's that worked out for you, Tori?
Well, you
Wait,
know,
I
I've
can't-
never failed, so it's good enough.
Yeah, well, maybe people who say that could be smarter than you.
But
Oh, that's.
I've never failed. I just don't like showing my work. It's gross.
I know. It's, you know what I explained it in first hour? It's math insurance. You know how you get health insurance just in case something happens?
Or car
Just in case you
insurance.
get it wrong, Tori, if you get a question wrong that you don't show your work, it's completely wrong. But if you show your work and say, hey, she did this right,
No,
gonna give her partial
learning how
credit.
to, my last year of math.
yeah, you're doing better. I can't even express how proud I am. Okay, so how do you find the perimeter of this? This is a tough problem.
Just count it.
Well, you can't because it's diagonal, right?
Flack.
So
You have to distance formula.
you have to distance formula that crap.
Gross.
Okay, but the beauty is you only have to do two sides, right? Because it's a rectangle.
Is the rectangle.
So let's see here. What are the dimensions of this right triangle here? Let's see. That is a 2 by 4 right triangle. Do you see it? And then this one is a 1 by 2 right triangle. Okay? So
I don't like
this distance is going to be the square root of 4 squared plus 2 squared. This distance is going to be the square root of 1 squared plus 2 squared. So this guy is the square root of 20, right? Which can be reduced to 2 radical 5. Okay? And this is the square root of 5. So add those sides together. And what do you get? Six radical 5s. What does it say? Does it say, give your answer simplified radical form? There it is. Okay, so this is just units. And you're done. Okay, so you have to use the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem, same thing. So if you want to draw your little right triangles like I did in blue there, then you can figure out the hypotenuses. And don't forget, you have to reduce that radical. So radical 20, there's a 4 inside of there. So yank it out, becomes a 2. You're left with the radical 5 still trapped in there. So 2 radical 5. So usually with a rectangle like this, guys, it's going to come to where you're going to have the same radicals that you can add. Yeah, like radicals that you can add together. Okay? So that makes it nice. All right, number 18, 3 more and we're done. Determine whether a triangle with 4, 9, and 10 is a right triangle. Well,
It's not.
it's not. Why not?
Because only 2 sides have to be congruent for a right triangle.
4 squared plus 9 squared does not equal 10 squared.
Yeah.
No, they don't have to be. That's an isosceles triangle.
Yeah.
So a right triangle is where the Pythagorean theorem works. It doesn't. And we know that we know that there's only a couple Pythagorean triples that are integers that work. 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 6, 8, 10. So this is not one of those numbers. Okay, for the statement below, draw a valid conclusion. Identify which law is used to reach the conclusion. So there's only 2 laws, law of detachment and law of syllogism. Can you remember the difference between law of detachment and law of syllogism? The law of detachment is just a simple if-then. If this is the case, then this is the case.
This is law.
But syllogism is when you combine a couple ifs. Like if it snows, if we have school, then we're going to eat inside. Okay? So that's syllogism. So let's see. For the statement below, so if Betty takes a vacation, she goes to the beach. If Betty goes to the beach, she goes swimming. So is this detachment or syllogism? Because there's two ifs, right? So if Betty takes a vacation and if she goes to the beach, she goes swimming. So, so if Betty takes a vacation, then she goes to the beach. If Betty takes vacation, then Betty goes swimming. Okay, any questions with that? Does that feel all right? So this is syllogism. Detachment is just one argument. This is a couple. Like if you did a proof, if this, then that, this would be two lines instead of one line. If it's just one line, it's detachment. All right, last but not least, name each vector shown in there. Identify the terminal points of each vector. Okay, so this is a lot. This is worth a lot. So let's name each vector. So it looks like we already named them, right? Name each vector shown. It's just, we could just say vector P. They're already named. Okay. So the terminal, we're just doing terminal point. Okay. So P has a terminal point. Has terminal point of what? What's the terminal point of vector P?
Which one's P?
Q?
Which one's P?
No, P is the top one. What's the terminal point?
I can't see this.
I don't know what that says.
Can you zoom in by chance?
It's that top one there. So
like B, A, B.
yeah, it's just B.
Oh, B?
Point B. So where it ends.
Oh.
So the initial point is A, but the terminal point is B. All right, what about N?
That one's not named.
Doesn't have one, and Q doesn't have one, but M has one. What is it?
D.
All right. Okay, any questions? Does that feel all right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Well done.
Black math, give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Black math.